powerhouse winter storm moving across the North Pacific, as we spoke about in the previous episode, but we're going to zero in more on its impact for portions of southern Alaska. 29.0 or 28.9 tonight. Barometric pressure strengthens 1 MB per hour. Pressure drops to 28.6 as we go further into the night, dropping to 28.2 by tomorrow. Tomorrow night, it drops to 27.98. Certainly a bombogenesis there. That storm system is why the National Weather Service of Fairbanks, actually of Anchorage, has issued a winter storm watch in effect for a potential blizzard for the portions of northeastern Prince William Sound for Tuesday. 10 to 18 inches of a heavy snow is expected over there, with snow changing over to rain at times possible, especially in lower elevations. Very strong winds expected, with winds, as we pointed out before, in some locations up at 60 mile per hour wind gusts, with sustained winds of 30 and 35 miles per hour. This low pressure system is going to be around throughout the week, but it will be weakening after that, weakening at about half the pace at which it strengthened, and we'll have more snow on the backside of that storm system. The Fairbanks National Weather Service is also issuing their own winter storm watches and warnings regarding other areas in Alaska as we speak. Another area that we spoke about but we did not zero in on is Denver, Colorado, Cheyenne, Wyoming, and Scottsbluff, Nebraska. All of them in for winter weather this week. But the question is regarding snow. Denver, Colorado looks like it may receive some snowfall accumulation. National Weather Service tells us about a half an inch to 3 inches before the winter weather arrives. That's between now and Tuesday. Now, the strong cold front comes in later on Tuesday into Wednesday. And then Wednesday, that's from till Saturday, that's when the really cold air takes over, as the Cheyenne, Wyoming National Weather Service has pointed out. That's when we could see some multiple snowfall accumulations, but we may not see it at all. Wednesday along the front, some light snowfall is forecasted to happen. Now, the European computer model has portions of Colorado set up to receive 6 to 12 inches. In fact, as we speak, we have areas forecasted between now and Tuesday to be getting 5 to 10 inches, different amounts, 3 to 8 inches. These are all in the mountains, some areas higher amounts. In the Denver metro area, from a half an inch to 3 inches, tells us the National Weather Service. But on Friday into Saturday, we have another potential 6 to 12 inch storm, which we mentioned, European computer model, putting Denver, Colorado at about 6 inches between the Friday and Friday night period. What's important to point out is that the National Weather Service of Denver and Boulder, Colorado, tells us that there's only a 20% chance for this more major, impactful winter storm to materialize. The 80% chance, the more likely scenario, is for there to be a widespread minor snowfall event through the period. But there is the potential for that major winter storm to impact the area, especially Friday into Saturday, Friday night into Saturday morning. That's regarding in response to a low pressure system that will be developing and hanging out around that area, around Colorado, Oklahoma, Texas, in that region, pushing north. The GFS model has it pushing into south central Minnesota by Sunday morning. The European computer model has it taking a more western track. But the Cheyenne, Wyoming, Scottsbluff, Nebraska, they're looking at snowfall amounts to be less, significantly less than what we're speaking about for Denver. And it's a winter weather pattern, but warmer temperatures do return by Sunday for that part of our region, with temperatures going into the mid-50s for the Cheyenne, Wyoming, and that western areas of Nebraska. We're to quickly just go over some of these other locations here in the Chicago area. We have a heavy rainmaker coming through over the next couple of days, as we spoke about in the previous episode. Unseasonably humid air with dew points in the 60s headed into the Chicago area, along with unseasonably warm temperatures as well. Temperatures also in the 60s, dew points near 70 degrees make it as far north as Arkansas, maybe even a little bit further north than that. Rumbles of thunder possible. Two separate areas of rain. One of them comes in tonight into tomorrow morning. Then we go through a dry period. And then later on tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night, that's the heavier period of rain, even some very heavy rain, possible thunder. The severe weather remains today out in Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas area, even up into the mid-Mississippi River Valley. The severe weather risk today was a 3 out of 5. I don't know what it's going to be at for tomorrow or on Tuesday, but the severe weather risk does move east for the next couple of days, as it usually does. The cooler air comes in really Tuesday night as temperatures drop into the 40s, and we remain under a north component to the wind, regardless of where the wind direction is from. All the way from Wednesday through Friday, we dry out here in the Chicago area as high pressure moves in. That storm system we spoke about out west, that's going to be the driving point for the southern winds, the southerly southwest mild winds to return here in the Chicago area on Saturday, even more so Sunday before that cold front moves through. Now, the European computer model has it moving through 1 o'clock p.m. on Sunday, but as the National Weather Service has pointed out, these types of storms tend to be delayed, and that's perhaps why you have AccuWeather having the southwest winds continuing throughout the entire day Sunday, with temperatures in the 60s for highs, 50s for lows. And the chance of precipitation, National Weather Service has it Friday night, but tells us it could very well be delayed until Saturday night. That would be associated with the next upcoming storm system, which is the system which could bring major snowstorm to the Colorado area. But might only bring a light snowstorm, as we spoke about. Other areas that we spoke about, first of all, Cheyenne, Wyoming, we skipped over the wind event, a high wind maker forecasted there for the next couple of days, especially Tuesday. The high wind maker is Tuesday. We have a high wind watch in effect for Cheyenne, Wyoming. Those are the winds before the front moves through, with wind gusts of 60 miles per hour in some locations, with sustained winds of 25 to 35 miles per hour expected there. Another big bomb expected, and you go over to Australia. We have two areas of that country with temperatures going into the 100 in teens. We failed to identify area number 1 in the previous episode because we didn't mention the city, but really it's in the northwest. Well, it's in the west to northwest portions. You can look it up on windy.com, especially Wednesday afternoon, but also Thursday afternoon. We have some locations going into the low 100 in teens. Another part of the country, in the middle part of the country, we have extreme heat warnings in effect for both parts of that country, at temperatures even in some locations going into the mid 100 in teens. That puts us at 45 degrees Celsius, even some areas of 46 degrees Celsius. To my knowledge, the hottest temperature ever recorded in Australia is 50 degrees Celsius. So we're still about 9 degrees away from reaching or tying that hottest temperature in Australia ever recorded. A significant delay, a significant amount in between those two temperatures. That will bring us to an end this episode, because we spoke about most of the weather in the previous episode. There's always things that we leave out, but thank you for listening. I wish everybody a wonderful